Hello, welcome back to Disco Elysium. It's me, aproustian, and I left off in the middle of our field autopsy, so that's what I'm going to continue doing here.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. Bits of cargo belt lie on the ground around him. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Oh yeah, I guess if I wanted to do this, I would need to put more points into Inland Empire, which I could do. You know what, I think I will, real quick, um, because I have a lot of points to spend. So, let's see. There we go. I will level up there. And try this again.
The rotting man. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Even odds.
I'm gone.
There we go. Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where's that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
Huh. Who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
You are now, but who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Gobbo.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your
Black frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips.
imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, copperoonie. This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Yeah, Rooney is not who I am. I'm Harry.
No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker. That's who you are. Rooney the motherfucker.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible? Yeah, this is... I feel like he's somehow involved in what happened.
Because you have.
Shit. Who killed you?
Love did me in, Brother Copo. It was love all along.
Huh. I'll ask this. Which was it that killed you then, love or communism?
Huh?
You said love killed you, but when you fell down, you said it was communism.
You're misquoting me, Rooney. I said communism killed me. Love did me in.
You really need to learn the difference, buddy. This is embarrassing.
This is embarrassing. Alright, can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
This is a good question because in the meta, me as a player playing this, it's like I'm investigating because this is the game, right? That's the case is all I have, and Kim told us. But why does Harry care? Like, he doesn't remember? So I think it's like, I mean, Kim told him to, but I think maybe it will lead to something. Something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous?
Ha!
The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands, the cold spring air smoothing them over.
From the northwest. Huh. Yeah, I hate you. You stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
Oh, god damn. Walked right into that
A
one.
child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
Oh, I thought it was like reminded you of Harry because you stink and you're boring. Okay, a baby affected with harlequinism.
You sure wriggled out of that one? Coppellini.
Oh, he did mean me. Shit. Enough.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
That's not what the text says. Okay, you can come back and look into this face anytime you want. Humor yourself with my harlequin features. Ask me your little questions fresh in your memory. Create associations. Remind yourself of your mortality. Capolopo. Okay. Well, let's go back to 2. Internal examination. Summary.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Oh god.
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
I don't think a moral is what we're looking for, but I'm curious. If I may add the moral of this story?
What would that be?
He looks at you inquisitively.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
Oh god. The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply. I agree. I'm not sure that's what they're going for here. I'm still gonna say it.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
The lieutenant grins. Okay, I'll write in A.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
He gets close to the mouth hole, eyes squinting from the stench.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Oof.
You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Thanks, Kunoaz.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
Write it down.
Respiratory system.
Back hunched, as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
I'm gonna look inside the dead man's mouth. I feel like it's a bad idea.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
God, if I take health damage from this. Alright, look deeper inside.
It's hard.
God damn it.
Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking.
It's like, I know what's gonna hurt me, and I do it anyways. Why? Why do I do this?
Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
The lieutenant repeats impatiently. He lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you. Alright, write it down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
He wipes his brow. Why, don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust.
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts.
I don't think so.
Neither am I.
Alright, right in A.
Same for toxicology and serology, NA.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
I don't think so.
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Probably not. The completionist in me wonders if there's something we can still do.
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
Okay, I'll write NA and add toxicology requested.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
Write it down.
Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around, to the ground, the pool of feces there.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen, briefly. Oh my god, I can write it down and omit the voila, or write it down and keep the voila. I will omit.
What's next on the list?
3. Description of injuries. Summary.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Okay, 1. Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Write it down.
And your opinion, officer?
Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. A. Opinion. Fatal injury. B. Non-fatal. Postmortem. This is definitely non-fatal postmortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Yeah, thanks, Kuno.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
And I'll choose non-fatal postmortem.
Right. Next?
Ligature mark. Finish the autopsy. Let's ask what the 4th injury field is for.
Nothing. Just in case.
Okay. 3. Ligature mark.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Write it down.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
I'm not convinced that he died from the hanging, because there's no claw marks. Like, I think he was dead. I'm gonna say non-fatal postmortem. The lieutenant falls silent abruptly.
Why do you say that?
I'm serious. I don't think this is the injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
Why weren't his hands tied? A big man like this, I would tie his hands when marching him to the gallows.
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Alright. First, how did it go?
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
What now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages.
For processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Oof. Okay, my perception's 4. This is low. It's a white check, so I'm gonna try it even though I'm probably gonna fail it.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Look under his fingernails like Kim already did.
His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all.
Do you think we missed something?
Yes, there's something we're not seeing.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body?
Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building?
There sure was. So that's what the iceberg-shaped refrigerator is for.
Now, that's an overstatement. It's not actually for storing cadavers, or at least I hope so. I think we should take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over.
Okay.
Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
Okay. All right, let's go back down into the cellar and take a look. I'm gonna make sure that my flashlight is equipped because I don't think that it is. This place is dark. Okay, oh, I'm gonna have to turn it back on again. Come here. Let me select it. There we go.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge, slowly melting. The power has been cut off.
So what do you think of this fridge, Kim? Looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it's more than big enough and cold enough. Honestly, it's perfect. All we have to do is plug the fridge back in.
Okay, let's do that. I think that was back this way. Ah, Kim, you're in my way.
Only the black cable is plugged into the breaker box, while the red one lies neglected on the floor.
Plug in the giant red
A
cable.
giant electric mammal awakens. The dead body is going to be safe in the embrace of its cold innards.
Great. The owners of this building will just have to keep paying for the electricity sucked up by this monstrosity a little longer. Let's return to the fridge.
Okay. Okay, return to the fridge.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its belly.
The fridge is plugged in now. Will you help me with the body, Kim?
Of course. I'll take the head, you take the feet. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but we'll manage.
Okay, let's do this. Clap your hands.
The body is heavier than most and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the butcher, then 10 more to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
I'm not sure I believe you.
Of course you don't. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bare fridge. This does not leave this room.
Okay. It's art. No, we did the best with the means at our disposal.
Did we though? Okay, maybe we did. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Okay, now it's even odds. I will try it.
You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still have no idea where to begin.
Damn.
Or what to even do with him.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
Yep. Okay. Whew. Alright, well, I'm gonna heal that morale. I don't have very many healing items left. I forget what the check is. Was it just perception?
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Perception.
It's guarding over the free.
Okay. Can I upgrade my perception? Don't remember. Here it is. Yes. I'm gonna upgrade that and try this again.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Okay, still
It's
even
guarding over the freezing corpse hidden
better.
inside its belly. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close.
Finally.
As if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
What is this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
Crawl up his nostrils?
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
We'll try
You're
something
not
else.
far. It'll come to you. Keep crawling.
Put your fingers in his mouth. I feel like this is gonna be it, anyways.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
Play with it. This feels right.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Ah, and I was trying to look in his mouth earlier. Okay, open your eyes and look.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
He was stabbed inside his mouth?
An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
I can say abrasion collar, I can say fuck yeah, or I can touch it with your finger. I will say abrasion collar.
Abrasion collar.
The lieutenant looks in. There's a pen in his hand. His notebook is open at the copy paper. Touch it with your finger, gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put your finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Brainstem?
Yes, that's what this part is called.
Feel around first.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
Push deeper.
Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. This is what he used to regulate his emotions with.
There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Push deeper.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
Reel in.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
Okay. I feel a solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
He searches his pockets for something. We'll inspect the skull first.
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it from the inside.
Oof.
The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Okay. Well, this is should happen. Fish it out. Whew. Oh god, that was almost. Whew. Jesus.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
Slowly pull your fingers out.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
So he was shot.
A bullet.
The lieutenant puts a small bag marked evidence under it. Drop it in.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-calibre. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
You keep it, Lieutenant, as a gift.
No, you deserve it. We can log it later.
Okay. The lieutenant drops the bag in your hand. It feels light.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth.
Good thing Kim thought ahead.
High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds about right.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Oh my god. No, yeah, goddamn right.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
Nope.
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
The ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
I am agreed.
I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There was no satisfying explanation.
Right? He's a big, heavy guy.
There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
That's right.
There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
I guess that's true. Maybe they just shot him while they hanged him?
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it does not explain all the other
Yeah.
dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me.
Who would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Hey, why would anyone do this? I think they're covering up their... This was my theory before. They're trying to protect someone.
To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here?
I think I need to wash.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Absolutely. He's like, yeah. I don't think I've heard Kim be so enthusiastic about anything else in this entire game, except for Harry taking a shower. Maybe the bullet holds more answers?
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Alright, what happens
We bag
next?
the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
Oh, you'll be gone? What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this.
Okay.
I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
He looks you in the eye. Yay! Ah, Kim approves!
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks, and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
Okay. In that case, gosh, I'm gonna have to think about what I need to do and what I want to do. I'm gonna close the door. I will wait to send him off. I'm not even sure at this point. What I need to do? So I guess I should look here. Oh, that's right. I have... Wrong thing. I have a map. I have a map now. Totally forgot. Okay. So there's... stuff. Okay, so these are white checks that I can try again. And this one's medium. Annette. I forget who Annette is. Oh, is that the daughter outside the bookstore, maybe? Might be. But these are things that I can go try now, I guess. Those on white are available to try now. Yeah. Whereas these are ones that I would need to level something up. Oh, I've got more of these. Okay, so apparently my authority is higher. Tommy. For empathy, I don't remember Tommy. There's a lot of this. I don't remember. Okay. Alright, I will need to figure out what it is I'm doing next. In the meantime, how do I even get out of this place? I forget. I feel like I came in here. Come in this way? Oh, right. It's 4 o'clock. I'm not sure what to do. I am going to turn in some bottles here because I think I have some.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money...
Alright. Okay. I'm not sure what to do at this point. Oh, I don't think I need to run around with the flashlight when we're outside. You know, I'll go talk to Annette again. Because... Oh.
Snow covers the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage. The white colors nearly meld together.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to...
Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something important. doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. This is a Caprice Kanema, the Caprice Motor Corp's follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, and the answer to the Lum's racing breed, Ferv series. With its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox, the Kanema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds and go on to a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour.
Won't it roll over in the first sharp corner?
The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the Kanema effectively a mobile power plant.
This tech talk is really rubbing me the right way right here. Sure.
Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
Oh, interesting. This machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Point to the vehicle. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
The lieutenant smiles ever so slightly. What's it packing there? Point to the engine.
130.
Nice.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there. Man, that's got to be a major advancement over the KR-18GU engine on the old Caprice 40.
This was a challenging success, so I'm going to reference it.
Yeah, you know it?
The lieutenant seemed surprised. Just the basics: cast iron blocks, roll chamber injection, dual chains driving overhead, camshafts, 2 valves per cylinder, hydraulic valve latch adjustment.
Yes, that's right. I'm very impressed that you know these things.
He stares at you in surprise. A fine machine. Run your hand over the smooth metal surface.
Yes, an extraordinary machine.
There's a gentleness in the lieutenant's voice as his eyes run over the vehicle's contours.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Ever thought about switching to helium headlights?
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first.
If we ever get this case solved, maybe we could do it together? Date night.
You want to help? Thank you for the offer. That might be fun. Let's do the case first, though, alright?
He glances at you and smiles.
He liked the idea.
Hey, nice. What a delightful interaction. And in fact, I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there, and then next time I'll try to figure out my plan for what I will move forward and do. That was such a nice interaction. Ah, delightful. Okay, I will catch you all the next time. Bye.